In a small town in Doddridge County, West Virginia, lived a widow and her daughter. The woman had lost her husband immediately after the birth of their only child. Because there was no one to help her raise the child, the widow considered her daughter a loathsome burden. As the years passed, the child grew to be a beautiful young girl. All the young ladies of the community were envious of her popularity, but because her mother had given her no moral instruction, she knew nothing about the perils of such popularity except what the other girls had told her. One day, a handsome young serviceman came into town. The beautiful young girl chanced to meet him on the street, and a romance blossomed. But, like many young servicemen, all he wanted was a good time. After he had his fling, he left town. A few months later, the girl discovered that she was carrying the soldier's child. Her mother soon knew it too and was enraged. She condemned her daughter for the very thing she had failed to warn her against. The widow, terrified that someone might hear about the girl, locked her daughter in a room in the attic and posted a sign on the door of the house warning that her daughter was very sick with smallpox. But somehow, everyone heard the news anyway, and the tale spread, as rumors do. After the baby was born, the widow took it into another room of the attic and asphyxiated it by turning on a small gas stove near where the baby was lying. That night, she carried its body to the edge of the field nearby and buried it under a fence post. The following evening, 2 women were walking along the road near the widow's house. As they neared the field where the baby was buried, a huge ball of fire rolled down the hillside, crossed the road and field, and stopped below the fence post. The women, startled by such a strange thing, but curious too, went over to the fence where the ball of fire had stopped. By the time they reached the post, the ball of fire had disappeared, but they noticed the loose dirt at the base of the fence. One of the women dug into the soil with her hands. They found the baby's body and ran to get their husbands. When they returned with the men, the body was no longer there. Since they had heard the rumors about the young girl, they decided to go to the house and question her. They knocked on the door, but no one answered. All the blinds were drawn and the house was locked up tight. No one ever returned to the house, but a tiny grave was found in a church graveyard nearby. Many children who have played near the old deserted house have said they could hear a baby crying from within, but no one ever entered.